All right, welcome back to Greenbox Gaming plays Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. My name is Joe. I'm joined by my very good friends, Jean.
Hello.
John playing Benedict, say hi.
Hi.
Hello, John. I am joined, of course, by Brad playing Hank.
Hello.
And, of course, by Dace playing Benji.
Professional podcaster? What?
It's who is a professional? No one here, good sir.
Brad had a party at his house for Maria's birthday, and somebody... Oh, wait, no, this is a different party. I went to 2 parties last night. I'm doing great, you guys. But point being, somebody came up to me and was like, I hear you have a podcast. And all I felt was a deep sense of shame.
Wow.
That is fair. That is very, very fair. I mean, you know, again, like we've talked about how hard it is to explain, like Delta Green or even just tabletop RPGs in general. But like everyone knows what a podcast is, but everyone also knows that everyone and their mom has their own shitty podcast.
Yep. Therein lies the shame. It's like, I promise it's not like that. I hope. I don't think.
Oh no, it's good.
We have fun. We celebrate having fun.
Yeah, we're just having a good
He said
time.
impotently.
Had they listened to the podcast?
No.
No, of course not. No one's listening to this.
Can you blame them?
Can you blame him? You know, actually, hold on. Actually, let me pull something up real quick. We had someone. I saw someone and this is a comment from a few weeks ago, actually, and someone put on one of our YouTube videos, where I had tried at the end of the episode. I had tried to say, you know, oh, go to our Patreon, you know, and stuff, and I got like all tongue twisted.
Sure.
And their response in the comment was, Patreon instructions unclear. A guy with a snake around his neck showed up and is telling me the secrets of the universe.
Very nice.
That was the wisest emu. I assume one of our Australian listeners,
That's sad.
or just an emu
It's
fan.
easy to
Maybe, yeah.
stumble upon an incantation of such dark nature.
Right. Guys, I wanted to ask you something. I recently, this last week, I've been moving in. I was just telling the guys, I'm considering myself 98% moved in. Like, there are just a few tiny things, but
I mean, you could bring Gabby in the house at this point, probably.
that's a,
2%.
Where's she been sleeping, by the way?
that's the last 5%.
Did you give her a
The
tent, at least?
0.5% is actually letting my wife get in here. But she works nights, so like she left to work, and I was like, you know what, like there's some more stuff I could kind of move around, but like I'm gonna have a sandwich, I'm gonna sit down and watch something, and I was like, I'm gonna watch something I never heard of. I'm like, hell, I'll watch some anime. I haven't watched some anime on old Crunchyroll for a while, right? And I don't really know what's going on in the anime world. I'm not like a big anime watcher. I was like, I've heard of this Chainsaw Man thing. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
And
I think it's kind of cool.
and boy howdy, I was like, wow, this was not what I was expecting. But I was pleasantly surprised. It really surprised me with it. First of all, the animation style, incredible. Like just the style of how it's done, very good. But I was just not. I didn't know what was a going in. I didn't know what was supposed to be a chainsaw and what wasn't. I had
So
no
wait, did
idea. of what
The
was gonna happen.
man's a chainsaw,
Gabby was
Joe.
out.
It's a simple concept. It's a man and a
And a
chainsaw.
chainsaw. What's their name?
I've tried to get Dace to watch it more. I think we gave it 2 episodes and Dace didn't want to have any more of it or something.
I need to revisit it though. Like sometimes I get too in my opinions, and like my opinion when we watched it the first time that it was just spectacle for the sake of spectacle. and that rubbed me the wrong way. But maybe if I go into it knowing that's what it is.
Yeah. What did you think
I think-
Chainsaw Man was gonna be?
I just thought it was gonna be tame,
hard
you
to
know.
It is hard to argue with.
But like it was pretty good. Now I pretty much like in like 2 days, like I pretty much watched all of it, and I was like, this is good. I enjoyed this because it was like, but it just surprised me. Like I wasn't expecting it. I kind of went into it blind. What is John?
Would Gabby not go for Chainsaw Man? Is that why this was like your bachelor choice? Bachelor for a
Probably.
night.
I predicted that she would not have given Chainsaw Man a fair shake.
And was it accurate? Do you think it's accurate still?
Yes.
Or is she watching? Okay, alright,
Yes.
fine.
But I was gonna ask you guys, like, what's the last thing that you went into blind? You know, something you're like, I'm gonna give this a
Your
go.
mom.
Oh,
And Benji dies. All right, thanks everyone for showing up today. It's been
Patreon
great.
details, get them clearer.
But yeah, what's the last thing you guys kind of tried? You went into blind and you were like really pleasantly surprised that it was as good as it was. I know Brad doesn't typically like to he spends a lot of
Please
time
don't say Congo again.
in an unpainted
Fifth
room.
time.
Don't say Congo.
Don't say Congo.
Well, now that you mention it,
No,
someone else go. I'm thinking. Like,
we already told him and his answer doesn't work.
I got one. League of Legends. No idea.
League of Legends.
Fucking amazing.
Oh, that is such a good one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
No expectations.
You talking about the? Is there a show?
I thought that was an ad.
Yeah, it's a TV
Yeah.
show.
Based
it's
on
an
the app?
It's a
animated,
show.
Really?
It's
and it
yeah,
has
it's a
no
game.
reason to be as good as it is. It's actually
fucking
fantastic.
It's
amazing.
actually good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. It's fantastic.
Well, because you
Not just good.
Well, and John, you play Dota, so I imagine you going into League of Legends. I imagine you're
yeah.
just like, no, League, it can't
No.
be good.
No.
Those are rival games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I had zero expectations, and
Okay.
those days behind me, Joe. I don't want to be the guy that played Dota.
I'm the Dota guy. I've been clean for 3 years. Dota
Badge
clean.
and everything.
Yeah. I go to my meetings.
But yeah, that's a great one, John. Similar experience. Our friend Jake, who's been brought up before, we went to Austin to visit, and he showed me the first 3 episodes, and I was like, "What the fuck? What is this?" I thought it was like an app, but now it's like a fantastic story.
That's what I was gonna say. So like,
Very good.
I wasn't aware. Okay, so without spoiling, because I might go back and watch this without spoiling too much. Like, so I didn't think that the game really had much of a story necessarily.
No,
so this is
nothing.
something very just
Nothing.
within the show.
They just decided to use the rights and make an amazing story, which is in and of itself surprising and fantastic.
Okay.
So yeah, let's not hop on
John-
too much, but go watch that. It's great.
Have I told you about the YouTube documentary about the making of it? Because
No.
that's like almost as fascinating as like it's such a fucking crazy story.
It was just like a small
is this
team?
dude who has never done anything like this before. He had zero experience, and it was just like his passion project. Highly recommended. Check
All
out
right,
that
I'll check that out.
YouTube.
Okay. Well, League of Legends from Jean. Jean's entry into the wasn't expecting it category.
I've thought of
So
something.
Joe, when do we become a podcast that is just actually a recommendations channel?
I don't,
Are they, we're tending that way.
We're walking the line.
I don't
Is
know.
that such a bad thing, though?
Yeah.
No,
But it depends on
into
if you
that.
like our taste or not.
We-
You'd be like, these guys
just-
taste
Surely, if they've stuck around this far, they at least can stand us.
or at least palatable.
Palatable. There's our tagline. Feedback
Palatable.
gaming.
review on all the podcast channels palatable.
Oh god, tepid. Like not hot, not cold.
Tepid.
Tepid.
But palatable.
We have to make T-shirts. One of these things we say has to be on a T-shirt.
We've already been talking about t-shirts.
It's just
today.
like it's our logo with 3 out of like 2.5 out of 5 stars and just palatable.
There you go.
Let's do like
Seems
3 out of
palatable.
4 faces, and then we have to choose whose face to gray out. That's what we're gonna do.
It's Brad's.
Hey,
That's right.
What if we had t-shirts and we had different options? Like you could get 3 out of 4, like, and we had votes, and like whoever, that'd just be needlessly cruel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So harsh.
But funny.
Okay, so we got League of Legends. Okay, and so Dace and Brad. Dace and Brad. What are we looking at?
Yep. Do you got one yet, Brad?
yeah, I thought of one.
What do you
This
got?
wasn't recently, but also we'll just stay on the anime. Anime.
Pokemon Gold.
Have you ever heard of it? One Punch Man was great.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like a wacky, stupid, basically comment on anime fighting genre.
Is there a lot of screaming for 3 episodes?
Not as much as Dragon Ball Z, but
Okay.
yeah.
It takes all the tropes of fighting animes and absolutely turns them on their head. It's also fantastic.
Yeah. I'll have to give that one a go.
In the realm of the great rather than the good.
Good. You got one? You locked and loaded?
I got a blast from the past.
Blast
It was
from the
maybe
past.
the first time this ever happened, and you were there actually, Joe. It's when me, you, and my brother Robert were at the meth house, which is
The
a
meth
house
house.
that my mom used to rent.
Yep.
And we watched.
There
There
was
was a
no
solid-
meth while we were there. We just always thought, this seems like a house that someone would do meth in.
We should probably clarify that. Good call. But there's a weekend on Cartoon Network's Toonami where they showed like a different classic anime film every weekend for like a month.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one was first, but the one I remember the most was Princess Mononoke.
Dude,
And none of us had.
I remember us watching because we had never heard of Studio. Well, I mean, hell, like the internet wasn't that big
Studio
back
Ghibli.
then. But like we had never heard of Studio Ghibli, and it's like, and we watched Princess Mononoke all together, and we were just blown away.
Yep, like never been
That
exposed
came
to
on
Miyazaki.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
It did.
Oh, wow.
It did.
yeah,
Wow.
There's just this
That's a
one
really
month.
happy surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it was, and it's a great memory.
yeah, and it's like
You said it was
and
super late at night on Toonami, on whatever that Adult Swim or something.
It had to be later in the evening because Toonami was later, right?
Oh, so it wasn't like at night. It wasn't Adult Swim, like 1 a.m.
No, I don't think so. But it was, dude, it was so good. Yeah, and then like going on to like watch like Howl's Moving Castle, you know, or Spirited Away. But like, yeah, nothing will ever be quite like what's this anime movie that's on, and just being just like completely enamored with it.
Yeah. Was not prepared for how radical it was.
Yeah, and it's like, God, like it. Maybe we are just a recommendation channel. I don't know. Like if you've never seen, I mean, a lot of people who listen to this probably have, but it's like if you've never seen Princess Mononoke or any of the Studio Ghibli stuff, you know, if you're not really into it, like it is not. Like they're very much so incredibly story and character driven, you know, that they're not they're not like Chainsaw Man and One Punch Man where they're like these anime spectacles. Like they are just like the story and the, I don't know, like this might be a bit much. This might be a bit over the top. But like
Whoa now. Whoa boy.
this might be a bit over the top, but like
Ooh.
I don't know if any movie has ever made me feel like, wow, like this is like the kind of a magic of watching a movie and being like pulled into the story and like being pulled in the world.
Accurate.
Princess Mononoke might be like right up there at the
Well,
top.
you haven't seen Congo yet, so.
God.
Oh, expertly, masterfully executed,
Masterfully
Red. Well done, sir. Joe is being so honest and sincere, and you just fucking spread your butt cheeks and shit all over him. At exactly the right moment.
God.
Well done.
All right. Well. Speaking of unexpected turns, let's talk about possible landscapes. How about that? Oh god.
You know what?
Why
I'm
not?
just gonna say, I hope people enjoy those segments, but then they're also like just waiting for when the segue is gonna happen, and hopefully it's a good one. 'Cause instead of just listening to us talking shit.
All right. So last time, you guys, we did some music from a darkened room, so it's been a minute. Last time, you guys are in the Hotel Broad album. After everything that's gotten you, after 1995, and back at Abigail Wright's apartment, coming back in 2015, and everything that happened with the Dorchester house, going to Vegas, to Ophelia Citri's house, getting imprisoned in the night world version of the Dorchester, escaping, coming back into the real world, back to Boston, and seeing things falling apart, getting up and going to Chicago, and being then pulled even deeper as the world fell apart until you finally got to the Hotel Broad album. You've met a cast of weird and wacky characters. Some you've known, some are new. But last time we played, you guys took your newfound friend, Private Labolis, a soldier who is convinced that he's in some type of purgatory hell. You took him along with you. Which, as we know, GMs worldwide will tell you was a terrible idea on my part. I should never have allowed it. Because all it does is make more fucking work. But, so you guys grabbed Labolis, and you began to search. Now, you went up to the room and fixed the room. Hank actually had this experience where he saw this whole other world, and he managed to kind of snap out of it and to fix the room. You guys followed the sommelier, this mannequin that seems to be involved with the bottle making process. You followed him, and then the mechanics of the game caught up with us, and you guys had to manage some mental breaks in the stairwell, and you lost track of the sommelier in the basement. You then tried to escape the basement. You didn't have a lot of luck. You found the laundry room. You found the other side of the laundry chute, where a long time ago, like in real world terms, like maybe almost a year ago, you guys saw someone down the chute. You dropped notes to them. Maybe it was Benedict this whole time. You guys then continued through, and you came across a friend, Charlie. Charlie himself. Apartment 2, the second one. You went and finally had some tea in his creepy apartment full of dolls, of handmade dolls. And he tells you, yeah, I can take you to the ballroom. You guys had heard about a ballroom. You're like, he's like, yeah, I can take you there. I could probably take you to the labyrinth, because I've got this job I need done. I've got some rats up in the vents. And of course,
Jeez.
What did the team
Yeah,
do? They took poor Private Rovin Labolis, and they rolled, I believe Jean as Benedict rolled a critical success on convincing him to crawl up in the vent with his pistol. And who knows what happened to him up there, because when he came out, he was not well. And then you guys tried to try to snap him out of it. You failed all that. I believe there was a devil's bargain made between me and Dace about whether or not, about what was going to happen. It failed, and you ended up fighting him and basically beating him to a pulp as he tried to murder you. And now
It's very tragic.
Well, when you put it
Not
that
our
way.
fault.
and we
Just everybody can see how it was
of
not our fault.
course.
How that panned
And
out.
we left off with Charlie here with you guys saying, well, I guess I can take you now. After just watching all of this happen. So you guys we're just going to say at this point in time, you guys, kind of come out of the closet. Let's not worry about what do we do with Labolis. Well, let's say you take him back to Charlie's apartment or something, and Charlie says that he'll look after him. We don't need to get off in the weeds
I could
on that.
roll a strength check to see if I carry him for the rest of the game.
And I can roll an aid for that strength check. I
No.
would also like to do a
Just to
heal.
keep Joe
No.
having to puppeteer.
No. No. If you try to pick him up, he dies. That's
No. Fun challenge for all the listeners. See how many times you can get your GM to say no consecutively. We're up to 4 right now.
So Charlie says he can take care of him. He can stick him in his apartment, until he comes to. And
I thought he was
see-
dead, so he's not dead.
He's not dead. You guys have. You guys actually beat him to, I think, 2 HP, which makes him unconscious.
Okay.
And
Oh,
you
good.
didn't.
Well, then we're going to come back to him,
Oh
definitely.
yeah. I'm sure when you come back, he'll be ready to go.
Benedict looks at the other two, and he's like, that guy's going to make a doll out of him. I feel sorry for him, but he's going to become a petrified doll by the end of it.
Maybe we
Human
should leave a
size.
note and stick it to him and just say, "Don't move. We'll be right back."
Maybe I've been
Sorry
reading too
for the
much
beating.
Joe Abercrombie, but maybe we should just kill him so he doesn't harbor a grudge and come for us.
You gotta hedge your bets. Again, I will repeat that I am removing the option from you. You're not making a choice here. This is what's happening to
Joe,
him. He's
We're the
going.
players. We're the
Nope.
players.
Nope.
No.
All right.
So you get him
cool.
stashed. Like Charlie has like a little little cramped bed, and you throw a little bolus in it. You don't really have to patch him up. You didn't really stab him or shoot him or anything. So you just kind of set him up. You think he'll recover.
Tenderized him.
You just tenderized him lightly to really bring out the flavor. So you guys are there with Charlie. Charlie's like, oh, well, I suppose he'll be okay. I suppose. I really
get him to the doctor at some
don't
point.
know if the rats are actually dealt with, though.
No, Charlie. No, don't you fucking do that to us.
We held up
You
our end of
saw
the
him.
bargain.
You heard those noises. Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. I've seen what you do to people you disagree with, so I'm gonna. There's 3 of you, and 1 of Charlie. So I suppose you twisted my arm. All right, let's go. And Charlie will kind of strike out. He actually heads back over to the elevator, and he's like, "All aboard," and this time you guys go even further down. And as they go down, you pass several floors, many of which appear to be almost completely dark. You can see, like a hallway, either left or right, or stretching directly away from the, the grill that he pulls over the entry to the elevator. Many of them are almost completely dark, and maybe 1 or 2 kind of blinking lights. Just barely, and maybe in 1 or 2 of these, you can just make out something or someone moving at the edge of the light, whatever light source is there. But eventually, you do come to another hallway that's still this burgundy floor. You guys are still in the basement, so it's not like as nice as it is upstairs. Instead of there being kind of like oak wood paneling that has seen better days, instead of that, it's really kind of like shitty, kind of like sheetrock, just like cheap. This is very much like a basement kind of feel. This is behind the scenes of the hotel. And you see that there are, it's kind of like a stained carpet, that kind of extends out in front of you. And there is only one way, just straight down away from the elevator. There appears to be no way to deviate left or right. It seems to go on very straight, very far. So yeah. What do you? So at this point, this is something I haven't done for a while. What's going through these characters' heads? Like, where are their heads at? As far as like everything that's happened, because I really haven't asked you guys this about your characters since you guys came to the Hotel Broad Albion. Like what about Benedict? Like everything that's happened since you guys have gotten here. Like I think like do you have any like physical damage or anything like that? Like is Benedict still doing
Yeah.
okay or
Yeah, he's on half hit
Yeah.
points, just under
Yeah.
half. Sanity's still okay, but he's I think defeated by this story at this
Really?
point. Like he's in between not knowing what's real, what's not. He's half expecting to wake up. The shit that we're seeing regularly is becoming normalized, so he's just, I think, going with it at this point, and deeply aware that all of this could just be a hallucination,
Right.
and none of it is real.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds like Benedict is just like waiting for everything he sees or does to just not matter.
Yeah, he's seen Hank die.
Right.
He's seen Benji almost die twice. So it's like, what means anything anymore? He'll half expect if somebody actually dies to just be like, no, get up.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Well,
Get up.
okay, what about Benji? Benji's at 1 willpower point, I believe. Which means he does everything at a -20. Aren't you sleepy too? Aren't you also tired?
I would have to check my character sheet, but I think if I could use one word to describe Benji right now, it's unraveling. I think like he's never been closer to getting to the truth of this King in Yellow business. Like we're literally in some fantastic place that exists in some plane that is not Earth, really.
Right.
But also, this is some fucking nasty business that we just went through with the private, what's his name?
Lobolus.
Rovan?
Yeah.
Lobolus.
The bonus.
And he's probably, like, he's not that kind of guy. Like, I think I mentioned a few episodes ago, like, in vampires, that would be a stain on your humanity.
Right.
Like, that would be a mechanical stain on your humanity.
Well, you know, there
It
was
probably...
there was that bit where Benji actually tried to hit Lobolus with the pickaxe. Like, imagine being fighting with someone on the ground and someone striking you with a pickaxe. Like Benji had to have thought, like, this is gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
Totally. Oh, well, I don't think there's much thought involved, but now that you bring it up, this is the second time an incident like that has happened. Like when he lost it with Barbas.
Right. Yeah.
Like, maybe he's wrestling with himself. Like maybe he actually is a killer. Like maybe he's got this instinct that he didn't know about. I mean, people do some wild shit when they're put into situations like that.
Right. Well, and I just looked it up. So it says it is at the handler's discretion on whether you get a -10 or a -20 for being exhausted. I'm gonna give you a -10 if you don't fix so you're now at a -30 to everything.
So let's find a little napping post as soon as we
Yeah,
can.
like he's like Benji is not well. If you mess up you're trying to sleep again, you're gonna be at a -40.
Okay. But if I can find some drugs or booze or something.
If you can find some drugs or some booze or something, you might be able to. Yeah, that might help you out a lot. As it does in real life. It's
until it doesn't.
Right until it doesn't. What about Hank? I'm sorry. Do you have something else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. What about Hank?
I feel like Hank thinks he's on borrowed time since he's died once. Just had that vision of, I guess it was Benji that was dead in the like room that got fixed. So I don't think Hank expects actually to go back to the real world in his heart of hearts.
Wow.
And
like he's like I'm dying here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And then also, I think he's severely disappointed in his teammates that they sent Lobolus in there. And then,
motherfucker.
because Hank did not want to do that. So there might be some tension between him and his teammates, slightly. Like,
I think we need to
He's-
differentiate
he's-
between what Brad wanted last time and what Hank wanted last time.
yeah, that's what I'm.
No, it's accurate.
That's Hank.
didn't want it.
He's thinking. I mean, Benji swung that pickaxe. Could have been at him. Maybe he's
Yeah.
willing to pickaxe old Hank if the cards are
Wrong.
stacked against him. Who knows?
Well, and I think that Hank, like think back to when you guys were in the safe house that was provided to you by Malpheus, the demon. That bit where Hank was saying to Benji, like, "Hey, like maybe you should take that cloak off," and Benji was like, "I can't." It's like I think especially when it comes to Benji, and tell me what you think, Brad. Like, I think Hank, especially when it comes to Benji, for a while has been kind of keeping Benji out, in the corner of your eye. Like, when is
maybe.
this guy gonna snap? And then maybe even the pickaxe thing. Maybe you're like, I think you might have it in for me. Hank literally has paranoia.
it's repressed, I guess, unless it
Currently
comes
repressed,
back.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's it creeping back up. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway, I
Alright.
think that's where Hank is, but still very eager to get to this labyrinth, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, like, and you say, like, you think that Hank thinks you're never going home. Like, at this point in time, is it just like, well, why still go to the labyrinth?
Right. Just as
Hank also stole. He also stole a little doll of
Benji.
Alice.
Oh, he did, didn't
Yeah.
he? Abigail Wright.
I made sure to
Abigail,
write that on
sorry.
my character sheet, and I wasn't going to bring it up because I was hoping I could stump Joe with it at the worst possible moment.
Sorry,
Benji
Yeah.
did.
Benji did. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, like I said, I hadn't asked you guys that for a while, but like, as you guys, maybe there's a moment of like, because maybe as the elevator goes down, maybe it has to go down for like a while, and like you guys have like this, this odd kind of moment of reflection, kind of available to you.
And Hank is also he's half hit points, which is probably more hit points than Benedict. He's on 8 out of 15.
Yeah, actually,
And-
about that.
He's only 7 sandy points away from a breaking point, like another one.
Go ahead and take 2 hit points back.
Everybody?
No, just Hank.
Nice.
Oh, because the
Not just him.
doctor.
From the doctor.
The
Yeah.
Grim Reaper that doesn't kill people.
Yeah, Hank, throughout all of this, it's like there's a moment where it's like, you do feel, yeah, and I don't. Okay, here's something interesting. I've never played Call of Cthulhu, but I've watched a lot of, or listened to a lot of podcasts and watched a lot of people play it. They have this thing in Call of Cthulhu where if something supernatural happens, you actually have to roll an intelligence check to determine whether or not you know it's unnatural. And you actually want to fail, because if you know it's unnatural, then it has unnatural implications, and that's dangerous.
That sounds like fun. We can
I'm
do
kind of
that.
thinking actually right now about maybe Hank doing one of those, and if Hank is like, wow, I'm healing way too fast, then maybe he does a sanity roll.
Ooh, I like it.
Nice.
So
No, I
let's-
won't. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well, that's
Well, maybe it should.
He
I don't know, maybe
failed!
it should happen if he gets.
I
a lot
failed.
of- Oh,
91
there you
over
go.
60.
Congratulations.
Hank, you
on
don't
the
think
failure.
nothing of it.
I've always been pretty strong, you know?
I've always healed quickly.
This is from vacillating from I'm gonna die down
I'm
here
fine.
to I feel like I played football. that
I feel
kind of
like
thing.
$1 million. All right. Okay.
Back in the glory days in high school.
You guys, so you guys get down here, and there's just this long, straight hallway. Unfinished ceiling. Like you can kind of see like wiring and piping. Kind of like hanging kind of loosely above the lights and stuff like that, along with these tracks in the ceiling, which you guys have seen, many times in many different iterations. So, Charlie.
Is this us? Is this us, Charlie?
Yep, this is it.
Where to?
You said you want
Does this
one?
is this like a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory elevator that goes horizontal too? Are you?
Nope. You typically.
Can you get us a bit closer?
This is typically the part where you step out of the elevator and use your feet.
Aha! You understood the reference. That tells us when
Shit.
you were alive in the real world.
I mean, what chocolate factory? You got me. You've solved my Charlie puzzle. So yeah,
So Charlie,
He's
what are we in for here? Why are we here?
you wanted to go to the labyrinth, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, but what's in the labyrinth?
You got any advice on what we can expect? Anything we can get prepared for? What goes on in that there labyrinth?
Minotaurs.
Well, honestly, you're actually, you know what? I noticed you got your pickaxe and your rope and your mining helmet. That's actually pretty good. Dark in there. Who knows what you find? I haven't been there in a while. My knees and my back, I just can't get around like I used to. I mean, I always want to go back. You know, and he kind of gets far away, you know, when he says that.
Why? What's in there?
He looks
What makes you want to come back?
he looks up at you with a look like you're like what are you, an idiot? He's like, my bottle. It's in there.
That where everybody's bottles are?
Well, yeah, until you find them.
Why does the sommelier bring the bottles down here out of every place in the hotel?
That's where they go. That's where they're hidden. I've seen other people's, but never my own. Never my own. And you actually think back at this moment. You think back to a photo you once saw of yourselves. Photos that you once saw of yourselves on a television screen, on a news channel report after you guys had gotten out of the Dorchester, where there were pictures of you guys, you know, saying that you were dangerous, armed and dangerous, you know, out on the news. But you remember seeing these pictures of you all, but in kind of, you could see in the bottom of the pictures, these were pictures that you never remembered having taken of you. And you all remember the pictures of yourself holding bottles. And there's even this part of each of you kind of deep down that's like, my bottle must be there too. And maybe I would say of all of you, I'd say Benji especially. Benji especially can feel it.
Charlie, one more thing before we go. Do you know of anyone that has ever found their bottle in the labyrinth?
Oh, a few that I know of who I've seen with them.
And are they
Well,
any different once they find their bottle? Do they feel satisfied or whole again?
Well, the bottle answers everything. It's the secret. I mean, the secret's different for everybody, you know, but it's got the answer. Whatever answer you need, it's in there. You can, you know, and you know, Charlie's a little bit wily. The more he talks about this, the more wily he gets.
All right, calm down. Enough of that.
No. I remember that young fella. Young fella had a funny name. Sama
Don't know.
Sama something.
Samahina?
Yeah, that's it. Young fella, nice. His pants were all ripped up. He said he wanted them that way. I offered to patch them up for him.
Oh God.
Okay, that was the son
That's the kid.
of the guy that was liquefied in the bathtub.
Yeah, he probably liquefied him.
Yeah. and a few others along the way.
Well,
Char-
probably be down there for a while. Might be we find your bottle, Charlie.
Charlie,
What do you think about that?
Charlie full on, and Charlie's a very small man. Like Benji's normal height, I guess, or round
Tall and lanky.
Tall and lanky. Okay, he turns to you, and I mean he's probably 5'6". He's quite small. Maybe he was taller once. But, he's just kind of shrunken and is old. He turns to you and he kind of takes your hand, Benji. He's like, "Would you do that for old Charlie? Charlie can't go down there and find my own anymore."
Might be we could. We see it. I'll be sure to hold on to it.
You remember my real name, Guido Antonucci. You find my
Right, Charlie.
Okay.
Guido
Okay.
Antonucci, I got it. I'm just fucking with Charlie. Charmeister, Charman Master.
Punches him
Charmander.
playfully.
That's what they call me.
All right,
yeah.
we'll be getting on our way, and hopefully we'll see you not too long from now.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's go this way.
Can we just call you if we need to get back up? We come back here?
I'm afraid it's not that simple.
Well, how the hell are you getting back?
I'm not going in with you. I'm stopping at the entrance.
More importantly, for you, if we do find your bottle, how can we get it to you?
How do we get it back?
You come back to
We'll just mail it.
to the hotel.
Any particular tips on how to do that? Getting here the first time wasn't quite so easy. One of us literally had to die.
Nope.
Roger.
Nothing for you. most folks come back to the hotel on the most people. And they go, the labyrinth is hard to find. It's called a labyrinth, for Christ's sakes. It's the clue's in the name.
No, that just means it's hard to navigate. It ain't inherently hard to find the entrance to the labyrinth.
And there may be a Minotaur.
And there might be a Minotaur.
Charlie.
There might be a Minotaur.
And you said nothing about the Minotaur.
That's
And
no
I want a
Minotaurs. No, hold on. Let me make a note. Let me cross something out. Minotaur.
Okay.
All right.
You guys got anything else?
Wait. A map, Charlie.
Don't got a map. Nobody's got a map.
How do we find our way around?
Beats the hell out of me.
Okay, where's south?
Don't know.
All right, thank you, Charlie. We'll be on our way.
Valiant effort. Valiant effort.
Because we've got a map. We would be better if we found out where
Do you
south
have a map?
was.
I think he's the one we got
We
forever
do.
ago.
Well,
The Hotel Broad Owl one thing.
yeah, Hotel Broad Album. It's got Elev or Ellen on it with a big cross and basement. And then heading south is a little corridor, and then WL, and then JL bottle. Is that the X?
Okay, you.
Where's this? Where's
that's
this on the
what
murder
I'm-
board?
It's on the
Going
murder
on.
board to the far left.
Next to Mosby.
Yeah, let me. So this is something that you guys found, unless I'm mistaken, back in 1995.
Way back.
And I'm actually just realizing that I never fixed our names on the stream. So let me do this real quick.
Joe, do you think anybody's gonna forget?
I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. So
Oh wait, sorry. Are they on there? Music from a Dark
yeah.
Room?
Anyway, so
Okay.
Did I forget to mention that Benji got that map tattooed on his body? Wow.
Prison Break style.
like
yeah.
I will say that if nothing else, you probably recall this, and for those watching the live, this is just a reminder. Here, what this is. This is what we've got. This map from all this time ago, and it seems like we might actually have something to do with it now. Now, you're still not there, by the way. You haven't gotten to the Whispering Labyrinth yet.
Excuse
You're
me,
not
the what
there.
labyrinth?
No, wait,
You're not there.
what?
I'm sorry. Did you guys think you were there?
Charlie, last question. Why does the labyrinth whisper?
I think it might just be a name. I wouldn't read too much into it.
Ah, you're so full of shit. Steps out of the elevator.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So you guys step down, and Charlie goes along with you for a little while. And at one point in time, and there are a few doors along the way, and you hear different things, and maybe even, maybe even behind you at some point in time, you hear a door open, and maybe Hank glances back just in time to see a kind of bellhopped person just see their back go, exit one door and then immediately go in the door directly across the hallway. And like you don't know, was it a person? Was it a mannequin? It's just there's just no way to know. And you hear sounds in the distance. Maybe even you hear a bark, behind one of these doors, and there's a moment where it's like, oh, is that Ham? It just. But Charlie seems intent on leading you guys. You go for quite some time, and it gets to the point where you actually, if any of you turn back to look, back to the elevator, it's getting to the point where the elevator is so far away that it's almost, like when something's in the distance and it's almost hazy because it's like so far away. Like it's almost like as if there is a haze here. And
Jeez.
at some point in time, and again, Charlie's an old guy and he kind of totters. He's not like super quick. Eventually, you see down at the end, he says, like, well, I think this will be the one. It's a bit of a toss up. Here we go. And it's like a big double doors, like the big fire doors, with the push bar. Right? Mm-hmm. And he pushes one of them open. And I would like... Actually, hold on. Who is it going to be? It's Benji. Benji, make me a sanity check.
Sure thing, good buddy. Okay, sanity, blah, blah, blah. Do I have to take negatives to that?
Ooh, that is a good mechanical question.
Is it skills
Isn't
or
it
is it?
No, it's skills roll.
Is it just skills?
Well, I know for
I think so.
the sleep, for the exhaustion, a -10 to skills, stats, and sanity.
Okay.
Oh.
Skills.
And for
stats,
low
sanity.
willpower, a -20 to all actions. So I'm going to call those skills. I'm not going to call a sanity check an action.
Well, I failed a raw check anyway without
Okay.
negative modifiers.
All right. Okay. In that case, he opens the door and he's like, oh hell, and you see in front of you, as you kind of look over his shoulder, he's like, well, the entrance should be on the other side. I didn't really want to go this way, but you look over his shoulder and you see in front of you a room that is both wide. It's like a big, huge, square, wide room. Probably at least like 30 meters square, like a big, big room, and probably what, 20 meters tall. This beautiful big ballroom,
Oh, interesting.
and all hanging on the walls are beautiful curtains, and and beautiful at first glance. When you look at them, they actually kind of look to be a little bit threadbare, kind of moth-eaten, kind of, and there are the columns that are kind of built into the wall. The gilding, the gold gild is flaked off in many places, and there is a kind of like a little stage off to the side, and all around, hanging from their strings, are probably 100 marionettes. and they're all hanging limp and unused, as if they were paused in the middle of whatever their last action was. Most of them are not clothed. You know, they're just the raw wood, you know, of these marionette figures. But some of them look like bellhops, and some of them are dressed as like some kind of average looking people. Benedict, make me an alertness.
Do I take any consequences from that failed sanity check?
You don't.
Okay.
Actually, everyone make me alertness.
That's a success. 25 under 55.
Okay.
Failed.
And failure for Benji.
Check those boxes.
As you guys walk,
Yep.
as you guys kind of like enter, I'm not going to say you walk into the middle of them yet. You probably wouldn't appreciate that. As you guys are peering through, or maybe you just kind of enter the room or just standing near to the door, you know, did you get a success?
Failure.
Failure, okay. But Benedict got a success. He looks out, and I would say that the other two of you recognize that this is definitely, you know, those outfits that you had seen back in the laundry room that you saw in Esther Samahina's sewing room. These are them. Like these are very, very similar to those. But Benedict, you look out and you see, I'm gonna say, 2 mannequins that are clothed. One of them is wearing a kind of like a tan suit that looks like sweat stained. You know, like the tie is like undone and loose around its neck, and it has a great big dark brown stain around 3 holes in its chest. And kind of sticking out of the holes are this tissue paper, you know, meant to look like gore or viscera. And then the last one, the other one you see, maybe you see it at the very far end, and Benedict, this is the one that chills your blood. You see a mannequin dressed like in a smart, kind of crisp, button-up shirt, just like light blue, the pair of like kind of business casual slacks, you know, like trendy but functional shoes. But it looks like the mannequin's drenched wet. As you recognize, probably something that you never thought you would ever see again. Jeremy's clothes.
Oh, shit.
Draped over this mannequin. Make a sanity check for me, please. For Benedict.
Wowie.
That's a failure.
Okay, go ahead and take that 1 sandy damage.
Over 65.
So they're all just like, they're just stagnant, sitting here.
They're all stagnant, and you look up in the ceiling, and the rails.
And Marcus.
Yeah, and sorry, not Marcus. Well, you know, you say that. As you look around, you might find a Marcus. You might find.
But that's not a 3-hole Marcus.
No.
With a,
You know anyone else who got shot 3
who
times in the
else had
chest?
A weird tie.
But is that Hank?
No, I was thinking Barbas. I was thinking Dr. Barbas.
Barbas.
Yeah.
Is there a Timothy Bile mannequin? That's the director, right?
There's not. You don't see anything that reminds you of what Timothy Bile was wearing. But you know, there's some here and there. You know, and the more and more you look, I'm going to tell you, especially Benedict, who, and I don't know if he shares what he's seen with you or not. This might be a meatball situation. You tell me. But Benedict, the more and more you look, the more and more you think you see the clothes of people you've encountered upon your journey, especially those who have died.
How far away are they? How far away is Jeremy?
I would say that right now you guys are kind of standing. Like I said, it would be it would be rude of me to just stick you in the middle of them.
To go into.
So
the
there you
middle,
are,
know,
surrounded.
and
So you guys are like standing at the edge of the edge of this ballroom.
Charlie, what
okay, and
what
Charlie.
the hell
still
is
with
this? I guess Hank's kind of oblivious to
Yeah.
if these are of any significance or look like anyone. He's like, Charlie, what the hell is this?
Well, it's this ballroom, the mannequins, and he points up, and you see that instead of there being like kind of single tracks.
Meatball.
If you don't want to look up, but he points up. He's like, the mannequins, and he points up.
We had some run-ins with them in the past. Are these
Oh, you don't.
dangerous?
I wouldn't disturb them. Didn't want to go this way, but we can go through.
Just don't touch any of them.
Can we go around?
What?
Can we go around?
I would say that you could probably like the place is pretty thick with them. I would say that you could probably move amongst them.
I bet you would say that.
That's what I would say.
Trap. Oh, jeez, if you saw Joe's face, you'd know it's a trap.
Just go through.
Until Ham comes and
Just
says
go and
hi
give
to
one
us
a
and
hug.
then, activates it.
All right,
I was about to.
Charlie. How can we best navigate through them without disturbing them?
Carefully. Here we go. And Charlie is going to kind of start weaving in between them, and it's like, and Charlie's pretty small, and he doesn't seem to mind them that much. He does seem to be careful. You watch him as he goes. Mm-hmm. It's not like they're like a mosh pit density. Like they're not like they're all kind of spread out. And again, like it looks like maybe they were in like the middle of like a grand dance. So there's some kind of regularity to their dispersal, but not like
Paired up.
yeah.
I guess Hank will follow, but also he's moving behind Charlie, be like, "Is the ballroom always full of mannequins?"
Oh yes, always here, always have been. So are you guys gonna follow him?
Benji
Yeah.
sais,
You two.
I'm so sleepy and I'm also insane. I don't feel good about this. This is gonna be hard for me.
Benedict will say to both of them, listen, this is way too many. If anybody
many,
gets
guys.
stuck, if I get stuck, I want you to just go through. Go through.
You don't want me to shoot you in the head and put you out of your misery? Okay.
No, not even that, Hank. I appreciate it. That's
Not-
very
not
kind.
That's downright
in
nice.
your way.
That's thoughtful, man.
But not
Okay.
today.
What is Benedict going to do something? Okay.
He's gonna follow, but he's just saying, don't stop.
Let's just try to be extra careful
Shit
and
goes
don't
down,
touch
don't stop.
anything.
I'm sure it won't come to that, Benedict.
Yeah. You guys begin to kind of move between them. And again, it's a pretty big room, and there's kind of like almost this what's that classic movie with the woman who's breaking into the bank and there's all the lasers and she's like going
Ocean's
between them.
11.
Yeah, it's like one of the Ocean's movie or something.
I thought it was a dude.
It has a
It was
scene.
the fox.
Has that,
Oh, yeah.
but I know what Joe's. There's a older movie that was
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yes, I don't remember the name of the movie though, but it is her. There's
Yeah.
like it's like kind of like that in a way, like you're kind of having to kind of move around. There's like two mannequins. Their arms might be they're not like perfectly positioned, because they're kind of limp. It's like they kind of got stuck in in the middle of something. Their heads are kind of to one side, and the arms are a little bit odd.
Where they're all doing Thriller.
And you're kind of like
There's
weaving in
Michael
between
Jackson.
Holy shit. That actually kind of makes sense a little bit if you think about it. Scarlett came in a place like this.
But you look at it, and it's
Very
actually, you're like, no, I actually think that's Prince. But then the Thriller thing doesn't really make sense.
The King in Purple.
He's wearing a blouse. It's Prince.
That's definitely a blouse.
Game. Blouses.
Blouses. You guys are weaving your way through, and yeah, there is, as you go, you know, it's like there is this kind of unnerving feeling, you know, as you go, and I think we've talked about kind of this hollow, kind of like, you know, those wooden wind chimes, you know, we've talked about this sound before, this kind of knocking sound. Maybe as you're going, maybe like even like the kind of wind from your passing kind of rustles one or two of these things as they just slightly sway, and you hear that kind of knocking sound. I will say, Benedict, as you are going, you know, Benedict is constantly, his eyes are drawn back to Jeremy, to the Jeremy mannequin, and at one point in time you look back, and you know, maybe at first it's just his arms are kind of down, and then you look back and its arms are kind of like raised up, like kind of toward you.
It's one of those things where every time you turn away, it slightly changes position.
No, and it's
Yeah.
So,
like,
wait,
no,
refresh
this
my-
is my least favorite. Joe, is there anything that I can do to, like, not do this? To not be fixated on Jeremy?
No, you're a little
This freaks me out
fixated.
too much.
Why is he wet?
Ah, fuck.
Is that something new or?
Oh, he got stuck in
Yeah.
the closet and came out
Yeah.
drenched. We left him in the closet
Yeah.
accidentally. What about a power roll, Joe?
Ooh, what a good use of a power roll. Absolutely, Jean. Give me a power roll for Benedict.
And you know what? Double or nothing. Because I made a good suggestion, I get a jokin' if I
Do
get this
not
right.
press your luck.
Oh! Critical success!
Nice.
All right, you son of a bitch. What was your? Was it a crit?
Yeah, it's crit.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
a crit on a power roll.
Fine. Fine.
Yes!
No joking for you.
Wait, what did... I don't get a joke. What do I get with
No,
my crit?
you
power
know, there's
roll?
so, you know, you're like weaving your way through it, and you kind of look up, and you kind of, but you look back one last time, and the mannequin's back where it was. You know, kind of shoulders slumped again, kind of there at the edges. You know, like maybe you just kind of look and you see, like, from the end of its little weird mannequin hand, just the water dripping off. But you look back and you're like, you know, this might be the moment where Benedict says to himself,
No.
"Meatball."
Yeah. No, this is... And he's also, like, checking in with
No,
reality. He's like,
he's gone.
Jeremy's
He's
gone.
gone.
Jeremy was taken.
Yeah.
No.
Hank,
And he'll say it
Hank
5
hears
times.
Benedict's like kind of talking to himself. He's like, "Hold on there, Benedict. We're almost through this. Stay focused."
No, I got this. It's just mannequins. I got
Yes,
this.
you should not. You should
Don't
not.
shoot
I
me,
will not
Hank.
shoot you, and you should not feel guilty about anything you've done. Ever.
You shouldn't feel guilty about
Especially
bringing
the people
one of
you
your
had-
bonds into the mission.
Especially people you were personally
Don't worry,
responsible
Hank, I
for
lose
and
bonds
may have
all the
come to a
time.
tragic end.
Not your
Gotta
fault.
be realistic about these
Hank,
things.
this isn't the time.
All right,
But I'm just sensing a bit of sad.
just a tiny bit. Okay, you guys continue to weave your way through. So I am gonna need some type of check from you guys.
Like a
Yeah, I
dex
figured.
to not hit anything.
What do you think?
Or
What do you what you tell me what your character uses to navigate the situation? Sell it to me.
okay,
Intelligence.
I don't know about intelligence.
Well, I mean, is it a physical navigating or is it a mental task?
You could-
to go
you
through
could-
and find the
Oh,
best route?
there's a legit argument
You
for
could
that.
argue
to stay focused.
to stay
and,
focused.
you
Well, that
know,
would be power,
Mm-hmm.
really, to stay
Yeah,
focused.
yeah, you're right.
Well, I'll take the power roll I just rolled. I'm okay with that.
No. All right. Yeah,
I think-
just,
Deck. We can each choose, kind of sell you,
you
something.
can each choose your own.
I'll-
Yeah.
Let's do
I'm
one
gonna
of
say
each.
Hank's gonna. Can he use just dexterity? Because He hasn't
Because
noticed
that's a
any.
good role for him.
No, because he hasn't noticed anything.
Okay.
With the alertness check, he hasn't seen anybody that
True.
he recognizes as a mannequin. It just looks like a very strange mannequin room. So I'm gonna roll Dex,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. What about for you, Jean?
I choose intelligence because of my good argument. And somebody's gonna have to drink in Because I make great arguments, and you're getting drunk tonight, motherfucker.
And what about for Dace, or for not for Dace? Dace shouldn't roll anything. It should be
Benji.
Benji.
Right.
Bad times.
Charisma.
With being one of, if not the foremost scholar of the occult in the world, is there any way that I could use my knowledge of the occult and not triggering these mannequins? Like, maybe I've read something about their awareness. They don't see, hear, smell.
Such a
Can I
thin argument.
tamp down my aura, my occult aura?
What is my face telling you that I think about this? What do you?
You look intrigued and a little bit horny, if I'm being honest.
I am not entertained by this.
All right, I'm roll Dex.
All right, everyone. Let's see what we got.
All right, rolling.
Success for Hank.
Fuck. Failure for Benji without the negative mods. I failed
Yep.
so hard.
Okay.
And I failed outright, 97 over 70.
All right.
On my strongest.
Okay. You guys.
Okay.
You guys are making your way through. Hank is like doing the limbo. At one point in time, there's like a mannequin whose legs are spread kind of far apart, and he's just like he's right down there. Yeah, he's just really making it happen. The other two of you, Benji, you're not as spry as you used to be, kind of thing. And Benedict, you kind of maybe you see a different way, because again, like Charlie is so small, like he's kind of wiggling his way through play areas that you guys probably can't. And you're trying to kind of figure out your own alternate route, and you kind of end up in a space where you're kind of like surrounded, like on all sides, and you kind of have to go back. So I am going to roll a dice, and that dice is going to determine what we're going to end up doing, probably for the next session. I'm gonna imagine.
Okay.
So, this is a luck roll. I'm gonna roll.
was the roll
I'm gonna
that we
roll the
really
luck roll for
needed
you
to
guys.
pass.
We want a 50 and below.
Okay. Well, that's an 80.
Benedict is on his way back, and Benedict, as you go back and you're trying to worm your way back the way you came, you feel something on the back of your calf, and you look down, and you have brushed up against one of these mannequins. And you see its legs swaying back and forth with the very real, force of your impact, as slight as it was. Kind of rocking back and forth. And your eyes move up the mannequin as we see that it is wearing a trench coat and a gas mask, and its body is covered in bullet wounds. Just absolutely massacred.
Oh, good, it's dead.
I need you to make me a very important sanity check. Like, really important.
Yeah. That's a success. Nice. 39 under 64.
Take 1 sanity damage. You look up as this thing moves, and there's a moment where, and the other two of you, like I said, Benedict kind of went off his own to try to get through this thing, and you hear the sound of Benedict falling to the ground. Because Benedict, you see this mannequin reach, you see it open up its trench coat and reach in as if to grab a weapon. And you reflexively, like, fall back, like to shield yourself. And the other two of you freeze and turn to Benedict. And Benedict, when you look back up, you realize the mannequin wasn't moving at all. It was just settling into position. You take a moment, you breathe very, very deeply. You worm your way back through. And Benji and Benedict join Guido Antonucci and Hank on the other side of the ballroom.
I'm confused. I thought we failed, but we have not failed.
The sanity check was very important.
That probably would have animated all of them.
And that is probably a good place for us to call this one.
You know what? Okay, shout out to the sanity check on Patreon. I am so curious what the chances of a TPK would have been if that trap had gone off. Or, like, certainly character death.
Wait a second. What makes you think it was a trap?
I really wanted to say fool of a took.
Fool of a took.
All right. Everyone listening, everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. If you want to get the episodes a week early, you've heard the spiel before, join us over on Patreon. Your support means a lot to us. I don't think I actually thanked one of our new contributors, Art.
Hey, Art.
Or maybe that was someone we had before and they changed their name. I don't know, but thank you anyway, Art.
Congratulations on the name change.
That's how you get extra thanks.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Art had... I don't know, did I mention this one? I might have mentioned this already. This one that was where Art had said that they really wanted to see Finn and Louie play D&D. I might have mentioned
I think that did come up.
Maybe it did come up.
I'm so into it.
But yeah.
That would be that would be an awesome Patreon.
I don't know. But yeah, but thank you very much. And if you want to get the sanity checks where we talk about what we've done, hit us up on Patreon. We really appreciate it. Or hey, if you can't help us that way, tell a friend about us. Tell a friend about us, or liking us or reviewing us wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching. It helps other people find us, and we really appreciate all you guys done. And you guys, thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for joining us today.
Good one.
Thank you.
Everyone who is watching live, stand by. We are going to take a break and be back. And for everyone else, everyone listening or watching later, thank you very much for joining us. And as always, remember, stay safe and stay sane. Bye.